My mother asked me, did your sister's boyfriend like the cookies I sent him home with? I spat out my drink, coffee spewing in every direction. Mom, Justin is my boyfriend, not Kate's. She furrowed her brow in concern. Oh, they just always spend so much time together while you're at soccer practice. I assumed they were together. My chest felt tight. I had absolutely no idea my boyfriend and my sister were hanging out while I was at practice, or that they even talked to each other regularly. They didn't exactly run in the same social circles. Justin was captain of the football team, and Kate was gay. Mom, I think you're seeing things that aren't there, I said carefully. Justin and Kate barely know each other. Mom shook her head and pulled out her phone, scrolling through her camera roll with increasing determination. Sweetheart, I've seen them together at least twice a week for the past month when I come home early from work. Last Tuesday, they were at the kitchen table with textbooks everywhere, and that loud green bird squawking in the background. My stomach dropped through the floor. What bird? What textbooks? Wait, I whispered. What are you talking about? What bird? Mom's eyes went wide with sudden understanding. Oh no, you really didn't know, did you? She showed me a photo from last week, and there was Justin at our kitchen table with Kate, both surrounded by chemistry notes, while a massive parrot sat on Kate's shoulder. The timestamp showed 4:30 p.m. on a Wednesday, exactly when I was at soccer practice. I felt like I'd been punched in the chest. My hands started trembling as I grabbed my keys and headed for the door. I confronted them both at Justin's house an hour later, barging through his bedroom door without knocking. Kate was sitting on his bed with a calculus textbook, and Justin was at his desk scribbling notes while that massive green and yellow parrot perched on a stand between them. They both froze when they saw me, guilt written across their faces. What the hell is going on? I demanded. The parrot immediately started screaming at the top of its lungs, flapping its wings aggressively in my direction. Kate rushed to calm it down, and the bird instantly settled the moment she touched it, nuzzling against her hand. Justin stood up slowly, his face pale. I can explain everything, I swear. Then explain, I said, crossing my arms. Explain why my boyfriend and my sister have been secretly meeting behind my back for a month. He took a shaky breath and the truth came tumbling out. 3 weeks into the semester, he'd failed every single midterm, completely bombing chemistry and calculus so badly his teachers called his parents. Coach had kicked him off the football team immediately for academic ineligibility, but he'd been too ashamed to tell anyone, including me. He'd been pretending to go to practice while actually sitting in the library having panic attacks. I ran into Kate there one afternoon and just broke down crying, he admitted. I thought she was someone else because I wasn't wearing my glasses and I just blurted everything out. Kate picked up the story, looking guilty and defensive. He was sobbing in the middle of the library about failing out and losing his scholarship. I felt terrible for him, so I offered to help him study since I'm taking AP versions of those classes. And the bird? I asked, staring at the parrot making happy chirping sounds at Kate. Justin looked embarrassed enough to melt into the floor. I read somewhere that parrots can memorize things through repetition, so I thought if I studied out loud with Newton here, he'd repeat the information back to me and it would stick in my brain better. The parrot bobbed its head and squawked, "Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell," in Kate's voice. So you've been lying to me for weeks, I said, tears burning behind my eyes, letting me think everything was fine while you failed out of football and enlisted my sister in some secret tutoring operation with a parrot. Justin stepped toward me desperate. I was going to tell you once my grades improved. I didn't want you to know I was such a massive failure. You made me look like an idiot, I shouted, and Newton started screaming again until Kate shushed him. My own mother thought Kate was dating you. Do you understand how humiliating that is? Kate tried to defend herself. I was just trying to help him before you found out he was struggling. I thought if I could get his grades up, you'd never have to know he'd been failing. That's not your decision to make, I shot back. You don't get to decide what I know about my own relationship. Justin grabbed a folder off his desk and shoved it toward me with trembling hands. Look, I got a B on my last chemistry test. Kate's system is working. I stared at the test paper, then at my sister holding Newton like a baby, then at Justin who looked miserable. How many times have you two met up behind my back? They exchanged guilty glances. 3 times a week for the past month, Kate admitted. 12 times. They'd built this whole secret world with textbooks and flashcards and a parrot that apparently hated everyone except my sister. And the parrot only likes Kate? Justin nodded miserably. He attacks basically everyone else. He bit my mom last week, but with Kate, he's like a different bird entirely. I reached toward Newton to pet him and he lunged at my hand with his beak, missing by inches. Kate caught him and he immediately calmed down, cooing against her shoulder. Your study parrot sees me as a threat, I said, the realization hitting me hard.